earlier, and hopefully you read through it, so now we'll just let you get into your presentation.
Terrific. Well, thanks for inviting me to be here, and thanks for allowing me to present what Tennessee Justice for Our Neighbors is calling the Families Together program. This is a request for direct appropriations from the city of Nashville for $100,000 to educate and assist Nashville residents, regardless of the country in which they were born, who have every right under current U.S. immigration law to live here. The only reasons for which they are currently at risk of being deported is that they have been too confused, too poor, or too afraid to meet with an attorney in order to correct their immigration status. Tennessee Justice for Our Neighbors has a track record of helping people obtain the safety and freedom that they deserve. Since 2008, our attorneys have helped more than 2,300 people with direct immigration legal services, most of them earning less than 200% of the federal poverty guideline. That's less than $42,000 per year for a family of three, and many of our clients fall well below this number. This new initiative will enable us to hire a bilingual immigration attorney who will be responsible for educating people about their rights and responsibilities under current U.S. immigration law. Our goal is to educate people and to help them evaluate their immigration options, people who have every right under current law to live here. We will help them through advice and counsel sessions and, when possible, direct representation in their immigration court cases. Through this funding, we will also be able to create a family planning risk assessment tool and other educational materials that will be shared with our partners, Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition and Conexión Americas. With Turk and Conexión, between 2014 and 2017, we helped 1,500 young people apply for and renew their applications for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, a form of temporary protection from deportation created by the Obama administration to help young people. This was a collaborative effort that was funded by grant makers concerned with immigrants and refugees. We continue to work with these partners today by sharing referrals, information, and physical workspace at Casa Azafran in the heart of Nashville's immigrant community. Our partnerships also include work with all three Nashville law schools and regular presentations to Metro Nashville Public Schools and police. We meet with parent ambassadors on the weekend, school social workers, guidance counselors, teachers, and administrators throughout the week. Our frontline staff participate in the Metro Police New Candidate Orientation Program, hosted by the Metro Human Relations Commission, to talk about immigrant interactions with law enforcement agencies. And our attorneys are currently assisting 120 clients who are helping law enforcement agencies such as the District Attorney's Office and Metro Police in the investigation and prosecution of violent crimes against Nashvillians. It's important for the city of Nashville to invest in immigrant families in this way. For one, the immigrant community is growing, and there are very few nonprofit immigration legal service providers in Nashville, 5 by our last count. The share of Nashville's immigrant population is more than 12% of the overall population, compared to 5.4% in Memphis, according to a study published at the end of 2017 by the New American Economy, a bipartisan think tank. Secondly, immigrants contribute to the positive economic growth that we're experiencing here in Nashville. The same study by the New American Economy showed that Nashville's immigrant community increased the county's housing wealth by nearly $1 billion between 2000 and 2010. And as the immigrant community continues to grow, so will their contributions to our economy and our local budget. The New American Economy study also estimated that 18,300 Nashville residents were immediately eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship, which is a strong indicator of family and economic stability. As people become citizens, they're more likely to earn more and to purchase a home and to purchase other goods and services. In order for residents to apply for U.S. citizenship, however, it is strongly encouraged, and given the complexity of immigration law today, perhaps necessary for low-income residents to receive legal assistance, such as the kind that we're proposing in the Families Together program. Participation in this program could lead to a person obtaining citizenship through a Turk naturalization clinic in the future, for instance. In this way, we envision a pipeline program for deserving people and their families to gain awareness, advice and counsel, and eventually citizenship. Many families are in the precarious position of being mixed status. This is where some members of the immediate family are U.S. citizens or have some other form of lawful status, while other members don't have any form of immigration status at all. According to the Migration Policy Institute, 43,000 children live in Tennessee with a parent who's at risk of deportation. And you can imagine the sort of trauma that creates in a family when a child is separated from their parent unnecessarily. This situation, in addition to the broader enforcement policies of the Trump administration, can lead to more traumatic family separations occurring in Davidson County. Through our years of work with this population, our staff have found that fear, misinformation, and a lack of access to legal counsel prevents people from understanding and acting on their rights and responsibilities under U.S. immigration law. Few realize that a minor mistake like failing to update their address with the appropriate authority can result in a deportation order. Just the fear of a parent's deportation causes long-term harm to children, including nightmares, lethargy, anxiety, depression, physical pain, difficulty controlling emotions, inattention and inability to complete school assignments, and behavior regression. By allocating public dollars towards educating and protecting immigrants, Nashville will join at least 17 other cities in 2020 who are giving public dollars for immigrant legal support. Cities such as Atlanta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, and San Antonio, Texas, not just the New Yorks or the San Franciscos of the world. Some cities have set aside millions, while others, like Denver, have set aside $385,000 for immigrant legal support. Our program, distinct from all the others, will bring together initially 20 families in Nashville and Davidson County to participate in a 6-week educational course that focuses on their rights and responsibilities under U.S. immigration law. During the course of this time, our legal staff and volunteers will also train 20 non-immigration lawyers and law students to help people participating in the course and provide pro bono legal services. They will create a detailed, specific family risk assessment plan and provide legal advice and counsel. For participants who have the right to change their immigration status, our attorneys will provide that service or provide a referral to another agency free of charge. The materials that will be used in this course will be posted online and provided to 5 partner agencies such as Turk, Conexión Americas, Nashville International Center for Empowerment, Catholic Charities, and the Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence. We will create a podcast of our presentation materials that can be accessed online, and in total we anticipate that this information will be downloaded and utilized by more than 1,000 Nashville residents in 2020. The content will be created and curated by experts in the field of immigration law, presented in English and Spanish. The value of this information for low-income residents of Nashville can be anywhere from hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings to each individual family. And the results can mean lifting families out of poverty, helping children focus more in school, and building trust with metro agencies. Our work to help people obtain temporary work authorization already has helped increase their earnings by 22% on average. Nashville government agencies already participate in programs that protect immigrant communities, like the America is Home initiative. By doing so, the city is fostering greater trust among the tens of thousands of immigrants who live and work here. We were encouraged by the joint award to the mayor's office and to Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition, and we're equally encouraged each time one of our clients receives a U visa for their work to help the district attorney and the Metro Police prevent future violent crimes in Nashville. The Families Together program will be one more initiative that will reduce barriers to immigration status and encourage all of our residents, no matter where they were born, to participate fully in the social and economic life of Nashville. It will be an effort that helps people who deserve to be in Nashville and Davidson County to remain with their family and friends, to earn a higher wage, and to continue to contribute to the vibrancy and diversity of our state's capital. Thank you for your time and consideration. We're grateful for this opportunity, for the transparency involved in the process, and for your questions and concerns. And I yield the rest of my time for any questions or comments you might have.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I always have a question. Are you working at all within the court system, and what are your points of entry there?
Sure. So we've worked with the General Sessions Court in the past to identify individuals who might have been cited for driving without a license. I've also met with Judge Linda Jones on a research project related to the immigrant population and their interactions with the courts, how culturally sensitive the courts are, and so on and so forth. And so we have no formal collaborations at this point, but we do have several points of contact and are in constant communication, particularly on the piece where individuals interact with our court system for driving without a license, because we want to reduce that as much as possible.
Okay, so as far as the judges, Linda Jones has been the one that showed the most interest in the type of programming.
Yeah, Linda Jones and Judge Gail.
Robinson?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
we had a really impactful moment when we were in court hearing traffic citations and people driving without a license, and Judge Robinson was just filling in that day, and he pointed to half the courtroom and said, all of these people were driving without a license, they didn't know that they shouldn't be doing that, and they can't speak English. So what we were hoping to provide is some intervention, educate people about their, like we say in this presentation, rights and responsibilities under current law.
Okay.
What's your annual operating budget?
So it's about $250,000.
Can I follow up on that?
Yeah.
What does that currently cover?
So most of our costs are salaries and wages. I'd say about 80% is salaries and wages. Because we are a nonprofit immigration law firm, our overhead is really on personnel, the expertise and the knowledge that they've acquired through decades of experience. Our staff on the front lines are all bilingual.
Okay.
Can you tease out a little more? So I think one of the core pieces of what you do is provide immigrants who are at risk of deportation with pro bono representation. And it sounds like you're trying to educate as many lawyers as possible who would be willing to provide those services. Is that right?
Right. So we propose meeting with 20 individual families with a minimum of 3 members to that family. Typically, to provide representation to these individuals, if it's advice and counsel alone, it would be $1,000 just to meet with those families with the private bar. By leveraging pro bono attorneys who are non-immigration attorneys that we train and supervise, we're able to provide that at no cost to the families. When it comes to representation, we provide that free of charge, whereas in the private sector, that could cost $10,000 to $15,000. For a family making less than $40,000 a year, that's very cost prohibitive.
Okay.
All right.
Very informative.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.